what happened? I mean, most of the time, in my experience, when it comes to, and maybe I don't have enough experience because I've only been married once. So like, when it comes to like living with somebody, I've only lived with one person. So my experience is
You've only been married once?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once.
All right.
Yeah. And I'm trying to say that
there's an irony behind that
yes,
statement.
but I'm trying to say that I've only, because other people would live with people before they get married.
Yeah.
I never do that. So
I don't agree with that either, but go ahead.
Well, so I've only lived with one woman to really get down to the nitty gritty of her mannerisms or whatever. And she would do that same thing. She would run in the middle of a conversation, in the middle of an argument. And especially when she was losing. Or if she was winning, because she just felt like, this is how I could always get the upper hand. She would just leave.
You see,
and so
a
whenever
duck-billed
you would do
platypus
that,
waddles and a duck waddles. Does that make them both ducks?
hang on, but you have to understand. You're talking about perspective. So if you want to look at my perspective, whenever I'm trying to have a discussion or an argument with you, and you're not, say I'm not, you think I'm not understanding where you're coming from, even though I am, but I'm arguing a different side. You get frustrated and you walk away like a liberal, like a woman.
Okay. All right. Is it my turn now?
Yeah, here we go.
That was my perspective.
Hearing you talk. That was my perspective. This is Nick's perspective.
Would be you able to say, well, he's at work and he doesn't have time to get into a yelling match out here. He's told me this a dozen times before. I'm not going to let it go. He knows I'm not going to let it go. I have left him no option but to turn and walk away, as a man would who knows how to pick his fights. And
so
that's
you're saying,
why I walk away.
Okay, so just take the aspect of we're at your work out of it. Would you still walk away?
No, I'd sit there and go toe-to-toe with you anytime, dude.
That's not my experience.
Okay, if I worked at Chili's as a waiter, would you come yell at me at Chili's?
Yeah.
You wouldn't
not yell at you. I mean, I would sit
like
down
and
we would. Oh yeah. Because your definition of yelling is not what I'm doing. Like, I'm not yelling. I'm getting excited, but I'm not yelling. Because I could show you yelling.
No, what you do is if you don't want to call it yelling, you raise your voice, you get animated.
I get more, yes.
Blood flushes the face. little spits of fire come out of the head.
The funny thing is I can't remember what we were talking about in all those instances wherever you walked away.
I can't either. I'm sure if I thought about it, I could.
Here's the thing. Here's the difference when dudes argue like that, or even whenever we piss each other off. I mean, I've even seen this online where they just compare when guys argue, they got to throw down. But there was this one video I saw. They were like, they got out of their cars and they started throwing fists, and they were on the ground. One guy pinned the other guy. And the guy that was pinned, he was like, all right, I'm good. And then the other guys that were coming over to help, they're like, okay, you guys good? Yeah, we're good. Okay, yeah, we're good. And they just walked away.
Yeah,
men. That's how men do it. You know?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, most of the time. That's how men do it. But that's not how you can have any kind of conversation or an argument with a woman. Mm-mm. And so my experience...
Those conversations have to end with an apology. And until that apology happens... they don't end.
But even no. Oh yeah. Well,
They'll go on for 10 years.
It's not even that. They'll bring it up afterwards. Yeah, like even after an apology, they'll be, if they get upset with you about something else, they'll bring it back up. And even though it says if they're a Christian woman and they believe in 1 Corinthians 13 where it says do not keep a record of wrongs, they have no idea what that means. Mm-hmm. Like, it means don't keep a record. Don't bring it back up. If you've apologized for it, if you sought forgiveness, guess what? It's not on the table anymore.
Yeah. Well, the Bible only applies to men. so
you're saying because it just says men in there?
Yeah. It's just...
there's some translations about the feeding the 5,000 and the feeding the 4,000. It'll actually say...
I don't know what that means.
The feeding of the 5,000?
Oh, the feeding.
The feeding of the 5,000.
I thought you said the defeating.
No, the feed. I talk fast, Nick. Once you open your ears and listen, you got me in your ear.
Slow down
okay?
a little bit. Well, whichever. Hey, whatever. The feeding of the 5,000.
The feeding of the 5,000 and the feeding of the 4,000. All the feedings, and it says 4,000 men. And some translations are now saying not including women and children, because that's how they talked back then. Mm. They only counted the men.
Yeah.
So you can understand that 5,000 was not 5,000.
See, whoever made that translation has poor perspective, because they're unable to see the perspective of people 2,000 years ago. And the way they spoke. When they said men or man or whatever, it means everybody.
No. They literally only counted men back then. So the reason why they put that in the translation now is to let you know that it wasn't 5,000. It was more like 15,000 or more. To put it in a better perspective of like how many people he fed that day.
When you put it that way, why not put men, women, and children?
That's how the culture was back then. They only recorded the men.
I know.
Because the women and children were with the men, so they counted the men.
Yeah. So why not change that according to today's culture to
Are you talking about
men,
like
women,
whenever
and children?
That's why they put that in there. They put that in the translation, not including women and children, so you would know it wasn't just 5,000. So it's not changing the translation. It's not changing the actual words. It's just letting you know in like a cliff note.
No, I get that. I thought your argument was that we shouldn't change it.
No.
Okay.
No. Wait, my argument is saying like they were trying to give you the information without changing it, is what they were trying to do. Because it also says in God's word, do not add to this book.
Right.
Big consequences if you add to this book. So they have to put it in like a cliff note. So the translation is 5,000 men.
So it's basically sinful to add, not including women and children.
No, it's sinful to add to this book.
And that's adding to the book.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Oh my gosh, Nick.
So what's the solution? Given today's society and today's culture does not understand that by men, it's excluding women and children. What's the solution?
They already did the solution. They put it in
sinned.
there.
They changed
the
Bible.
They didn't sin. Like, no, because they still said what the word says. 5,000 men, and then it said not including women and children. And I think they put it in parentheses, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think a better solution is to just train people to think today through schooling and education and all that the way they thought back then. That way, when it says he fed 4,000 or 5,000 men, we all know, okay, and their families. We just intellectually know that.
Yeah, and it's not about feminism or politics or anything like that. It's just how they counted people back then, because that was the patriarchy.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But it was total feminism that included, not including men and women.
Oh, I don't agree with that at all. I think they were just trying to paint a bigger picture of like, hey, this is not just 5,000.
They were trying to
more
represent
like 15 to 20,000.
Underrepresented group is what it is.
No, they weren't trying to represent an underrepresented group.
Why would they change it then?
Because they were trying to show you a better picture of the full power of Christ whenever he fed those people. It wasn't just 5,000. It was more like 20,000.
Yeah, okay. Then I don't know why they didn't just change the word 5 to 20.
I think they were trying to be accurate to what the actual scripture says, because you're talking about the four gospels, which were recorded accounts. In other words, it was just four people who were writing down what was happening. That's all it was.
I have no idea what you just said. I was looking at you, but I wasn't. I was done thinking about it, Nick. I was done thinking about it.
You can't. We're having a discussion here. You can't just like check out. Exactly. My gosh, Nick. This is why I get frustrated with you, and this is why I start wanting to have yelling matches, because we're trying to have a discussion.
Well, your point was made,
but you kept going with it. Yes, my point was made 3 minutes ago, but you kept going.
I checked out though. Remember?
Oh, don't say it. You checked out whenever I was giving you the better answer, and you didn't want to hear it.
Do we want Canada?
You trying to change the subject?
Why not, man?
Do we want Canada?